In the rugged heart of the Old West, where life was often a daily struggle against unforgiving elements and harsh realities, there lived a woman whose quiet generosity shaped the fate of an entire town. For 20 long years, she gave without recognition, her acts of kindness hidden beneath the dusty sun and the whispered winds that carried stories across the prairie. No one knew her name, yet every life she touched bore the invisible mark of her compassion, a secret thread that wove the community together in ways no one could have imagined. She was not a woman of wealth or status, but her spirit was rich beyond measure. In a world where survival often meant putting oneself first, she chose instead to give quietly, sacrificing little luxuries and comforts to support those in need. Her donations were never spoken of. They were gifts left anonymously, acts of hope cast into the shadows. Yet, those small, unseen gestures planted seeds of change, healing wounds, mending broken spirits, and lighting the way for a better tomorrow. As the years passed, the town grew and flourished, unaware of the guardian angel walking among them. She moved through the streets unnoticed, a humble presence whose generosity had touched countless lives, but never sought praise or gratitude. Her story was one of silent sacrifice, the kind that rarely makes headlines, but leaves a legacy far deeper and more enduring than any monument. When she finally passed, the town was faced with a revelation that would unite them in a powerful, unforgettable moment. At her funeral, the true magnitude of her giving came to light. The entire community, from the oldest ranchers to the youngest children, gathered not just to mourn a neighbor, but to honor the woman who had carried their hopes and dreams in secret for 2 decades. Their collective grief was mingled with gratitude and awe, a testament to the quiet power of kindness and the profound impact one person can have when they give without expectation. This story invites us to look beyond what is seen and to value the invisible threads that hold us together. It reminds us that heroism is not always loud or public, but often found in the steady, unseen acts that sustain communities and inspire generations. Join me as we uncover the remarkable journey of the woman whose secret giving shaped a town's heart and left a legacy that would never be forgotten. In a town carved from the wild frontier, where survival often depended on grit and stubbornness, she was a quiet force, moving unseen like the gentle breeze that stirred the prairie grasses. She was neither rich nor famous, yet her heart was a wellspring of generosity that poured into the lives of those around her in ways no one could have anticipated. For 20 years, she gave without seeking recognition, her kindness a hidden thread binding the community together in silence. In a place where suspicion often shadowed goodwill, her selfless acts were a beacon of hope shrouded in mystery. Her contributions were subtle but vital, supplies left anonymously for struggling families, funds quietly directed to the town's school, meals provided to those who could not afford them. Each gesture was small alone, but together they formed a lifeline that helped sustain the town through harsh winters, droughts, and hard times. The townsfolk noticed changes, but never suspected the woman whose hands had laid the foundation for so much good. She moved through the streets with humble purpose, her impact invisible but deeply felt in the improved lives around her. Behind her gentle smile was a story of sacrifice and resolve. Living modestly herself, she gave away what little she had, believing that true wealth was measured not in gold or land but in the well-being of others. This conviction guided her quietly through decades of hardship, weathering loneliness and hardship without complaint. Her generosity was never a means to gain favor, but a reflection of her unwavering belief in community and kindness. As years passed, the town grew stronger, more resilient, and more hopeful, but the woman remained content in her anonymity. She neither sought accolades nor asked for thanks. Her legacy was not in the praise she might have earned, but in the lives she touched and the spirit of generosity she inspired in others, even if they never knew her name. The profound impact of her secret giving was a testament to the unseen heroes who shape history through quiet, steadfast love. This first chapter invites us to consider the power of invisible kindness and the courage it takes to give without recognition. It sets the stage for a story that reveals the heart of a community transformed by one woman's silent devotion. The seasons turned, and life in the town moved forward. But beneath the surface, the woman's unseen hand continued to guide and protect. She had become the town's secret guardian, ensuring that no family went hungry, no child was left without books, and no soul suffered alone. Her donations, always anonymous, were the lifeblood of countless small miracles: a widow's rent paid, a farmer's tools replaced, a sick child's medicine bought. Yet, despite these gifts, she remained distant, her story locked away behind her quiet eyes. Rumors occasionally surfaced about an unseen benefactor, sparking curiosity and speculation, but no one ever guessed the humble woman who walked among them daily. Some wondered if it was the work of a wealthy landowner or a traveling stranger passing through. Others whispered that the town's fortunes were simply improving by chance. None could have imagined the truth, that this generosity came from a woman whose quiet strength had quietly held the community together through the toughest of times. The woman's life was one of paradox, outwardly simple and unassuming, yet inwardly rich with compassion and resilience. She carried the weight of her secret, giving with grace, never burdened by the sacrifices she made. The hardships she endured herself were overshadowed by the joy she found in knowing that her gifts brought comfort and hope. Her story was a powerful reminder that the greatest acts of courage often go unseen, carried out in the silence of everyday life. As the town prospered, its people slowly began to recognize the importance of generosity, inspired unknowingly by her example. Acts of kindness, once rare and fragile, blossomed into a culture of support and empathy. Though the woman remained anonymous, her spirit was woven into the fabric of the community, a silent pulse driving the town's heart toward a brighter future. This part deepens our understanding of the woman's impact, exploring themes of sacrifice, anonymity, and the ripple effects of generosity in a close-knit community. It prepares the way for the poignant revelations yet to come. As the years passed, the woman's secret generosity began to shape the town in ways no one could fully grasp. Families who once struggled to survive found new hope. Children who had no books suddenly had school supplies, and the sick received care that might otherwise have been impossible. The town thrived quietly, its growth fueled by the unseen kindness of the woman who never sought the spotlight. Yet, while her gifts transformed lives, she remained a figure wrapped in mystery, a humble presence whose story was known only to herself. Her sacrifices were not without cost. Living simply and often foregoing her own needs, she poured what little she had into her community, sometimes at great personal hardship. But her commitment never wavered. Every dollar given, every meal shared, was an act of defiance against the harshness of frontier life, a statement that love and compassion could endure even in the wildest, most unforgiving places. She understood deeply that true wealth was measured by the lives lifted, not the gold saved. Behind the quiet doors of her modest home, she kept her heart and her story locked away, revealing little of her past or the reasons behind her relentless giving. She was content to watch from the sidelines, knowing that her work was never about recognition, but about the lasting change that kindness could bring. Her legacy was woven into the fabric of the town, a silent but powerful force that shaped its soul. The townspeople, unaware of the woman's role, began to share their stories of hope and survival, unknowingly echoing the impact of her generosity. Each tale of overcoming hardship was a testament to the strength she had nurtured in the community. Her unseen hand had created a network of care that lifted the town through decades of challenges, binding its people together with threads of trust and gratitude. This part deepens the narrative of quiet sacrifice and highlights the transformative power of sustained kindness, emphasizing the woman's role as the heart of a community built on hope and resilience. When the woman's time finally came to leave this world, the town was faced with a revelation that shook its very foundations. The funeral was unlike any other. Every soul who had ever benefited from her silent generosity gathered to pay their respects. From grizzled ranchers to wide-eyed children, the entire town stood united, not just in mourning, but in profound gratitude for the woman who had given everything without ever asking for thanks. Stories poured forth as neighbors shared memories, piecing together the puzzle of the mysterious benefactor whose kindness had touched them all. They spoke of meals received during hard winters, of debts quietly paid, and of hope restored when all seemed lost. The collective realization of her impact stirred an overwhelming sense of awe and respect, transforming her from an anonymous figure into the beloved guardian angel of the town. Her funeral became a celebration of life and legacy, a moment when the invisible became visible and the quiet deeds of a lifetime were honored with tears, prayers, and heartfelt stories. The woman who had walked unnoticed through the streets was now recognized as the soul of the community, a shining example of the profound power of giving without expectation. This moment united the town in a powerful way, inspiring many to carry forward her legacy of generosity and kindness. Her life reminded them that heroism is often found not in grand gestures or fame, but in the steady, unseen acts that nurture hope and sustain communities through the darkest times. This chapter marks the emotional turning point of the story, highlighting the impact of anonymity and the profound ripple effect one life can have when lived with compassion and selflessness. In the quiet aftermath of the funeral, the town found itself transformed, not only by the loss, but by the newfound awareness of the woman's enduring impact. Her secret generosity had been the foundation upon which their lives had been rebuilt time and again, a silent strength that had carried them through famine, illness, and despair. Now, united in gratitude, the community began to weave her legacy into the very fabric of their daily lives, pledging to honor her memory by embracing the spirit of selfless giving she had embodied for so many years. This awakening inspired a wave of kindness that rippled through the town like the gentle swell of a prairie river. Neighbors started to look out for one another with renewed vigor. Small acts of generosity blossomed into a culture of compassion, and the invisible bonds she had nurtured became tangible threads of support and unity. The woman's life became a powerful testament to the idea that one person's quiet courage could ignite a movement capable of changing an entire community. Among the townsfolk, stories of her secret deeds passed from one generation to the next, growing into legends that transcended time and place. Children learned of the woman who gave without expecting anything in return, of the hidden sacrifices that made their lives better, and of the strength that comes from kindness in the face of hardship. Her legacy was no longer hidden. It was a guiding light, a beacon of hope shining brightly in the harsh landscape of the West. The spirit of her generosity encouraged others to act, to see themselves as guardians of the community's well-being. In a land where trust was often hard-won, her example helped build bridges of faith and support that strengthened the town against the challenges of the frontier. It was a reminder that heroism does not always roar, but often whispers through the quiet actions of those who choose to give selflessly. This chapter emphasizes the powerful ripple effects of one person's kindness and how a community can be transformed when it embraces the legacy of compassion left behind by a humble, devoted soul. As the seasons turned, the town flourished in ways that no one had imagined possible, carrying forward the legacy of their secret benefactor. Her spirit seemed to linger in every corner, in the laughter of children, the generosity of neighbors, and the resilience that marked the community's character. The once quiet acts of giving had grown into a movement, inspiring others to live with open hearts and hands willing to help. The story of the woman who gave for 20 years in secret became a powerful symbol across the region, a reminder that true wealth is measured not by possessions, but by the love and support we extend to others. Travelers passing through carried her tale to distant lands, spreading a message of hope and humanity that resonated far beyond the borders of their small frontier town. Her life taught that even in the roughest places, kindness could prevail and inspire change. In the heart of the town, a simple monument was erected, not to glorify wealth or power, but to honor a woman whose quiet devotion had shaped generations. It stood as a testament to the enduring impact one person can have, a symbol of the profound truth that even the humblest acts can leave an unforgettable mark on the world. The monument became a place where people gathered to reflect, to remember, and to recommit themselves to the spirit of generosity she embodied. Through every hardship faced and every victory celebrated, her legacy endured, a guiding force reminding the community that strength comes from compassion and that the bonds forged by kindness are unbreakable. Her story continues to inspire those who believe in the power of selfless giving, encouraging all to look beyond themselves and find ways to uplift others. This section highlights how a legacy of kindness grows beyond one life, influencing communities and inspiring future generations to live with purpose and generosity. The legacy of the woman's quiet generosity began to ripple beyond the boundaries of the town, touching the lives of strangers and shaping the spirit of the wider frontier. Her story became a beacon, a whispered legend passed from traveler to traveler around campfires and in dusty saloons. People spoke of the mysterious benefactor who gave tirelessly without recognition, inspiring others to examine their own lives and consider how they might sow seeds of kindness in their own communities. Her actions showed that true strength lies not in wielding power, but in lifting others up without fanfare or expectation. In a world so often hardened by hardship, the woman's example illuminated the path toward a different kind of courage, one rooted in empathy, sacrifice, and steadfast commitment. Her influence encouraged people to see beyond survival and toward the flourishing of community and humanity. Her story challenged the notion that generosity is a luxury reserved for the few and instead painted it as the essential lifeblood of any society, especially one as unforgiving as the Old West. Those who had once felt alone or forgotten found comfort in the knowledge that they were cared for by an unseen hand, and they carried this hope forward into their own acts of kindness. The culture of giving she fostered became a legacy of connection and resilience, binding the town together like a tapestry woven from countless threads of compassion. This quiet revolution transformed the community into a family, each member standing ready to protect and support the other. Even as time marched forward and faces changed, the spirit she ignited endured. Her story was taught to children, celebrated in gatherings, and revered as a testament to the transformative power of a single life lived with intention and heart. Her memory became a cornerstone of the town's identity, a lasting reminder that greatness often comes quietly and that the deepest impact is often made far from the spotlight. This chapter reveals how one person's enduring kindness can create a legacy that shapes the future, inspiring others to carry forward the torch of generosity and hope. With each passing year, the woman's story took on a life of its own, becoming more than just a tale from the past. It evolved into a symbol of what the Old West could be at its best, a place where humanity prevailed over hardship, where generosity triumphed over greed, and where quiet heroes walked unnoticed but never unfelt. Her secret giving taught the town that even the harshest landscapes could be softened by compassion, and that the strength of a community is built on the invisible acts of those who give without seeking praise. The town's annual remembrance of her life grew into a cherished tradition, where people came together not only to honor her memory, but to celebrate the values she embodied. Songs were sung, stories told, and new acts of kindness pledged, a living testament to the idea that her spirit continued to guide and inspire. This gathering became a beacon for those who sought to make a difference, a powerful affirmation that the greatest legacies are those written in the hearts of others. Her life also became a call to action for future generations, urging them to look for ways to help without expectation, to give with open hearts, and to understand that even the smallest gesture can have profound consequences. In a land known for its rugged individualism, her story reminded everyone that true strength is found in community and shared purpose. Though the woman herself had passed into history, her influence remained vibrant and vital, a force that shaped the town's destiny and offered hope to all who heard her story. Her example continues to teach us that the most powerful gifts are those given in secret, without fanfare, and with pure intention. This chapter deepens the enduring significance of her life and legacy, showing how one person's quiet courage can echo through time and inspire countless others. As the years unfolded, the woman's story became a cornerstone of the town's identity, shaping its culture and values in profound ways. Her secret generosity was no longer just a tale whispered in shadows, but a source of inspiration that encouraged everyone to look beyond themselves and embrace the power of giving. Her life reminded the townsfolk that heroism does not always come with fanfare or recognition. Often, it is the quiet, consistent acts of kindness that build the strongest foundations for community and resilience. Her legacy sparked a chain reaction, inspiring others to step forward in their own way, to offer help to neighbors and strangers alike, and to carry forward the torch she had so selflessly held. The town, once vulnerable and fractured, grew into a vibrant, compassionate community, united by the spirit of generosity she embodied. Her story was a testament to the idea that true wealth lies in the well-being of others, and that every small act of kindness can reverberate far beyond its origin. The woman's influence extended beyond the town's borders, reaching surrounding settlements, and inspiring similar acts of secret giving and selfless support. Travelers spoke of her example as a guiding light, a reminder that even in the wild and unpredictable frontier, humanity could thrive when nurtured by compassion. This ripple effect created a legacy not just of one life, but of a movement grounded in empathy and courage. In the hearts of those who knew her story, she became more than a figure from the past. She was a symbol of hope, a quiet hero whose life proved that one person's dedication could change the course of many lives. Her memory lived on in every hand that reached out to help, in every soul uplifted by kindness, and in every moment when community triumphed over hardship. This penultimate chapter highlights the transformative power of legacy and the far-reaching impact of one life lived with purpose and love. In the twilight of the Old West, as the town flourished and new generations took root, the woman's story remained a guiding star, a timeless reminder that the greatest legacies are born not from grand deeds, but from the simple, quiet acts that touch lives deeply and sincerely. Her life encouraged all who heard it to embrace humility, to give without expectation, and to understand that even the smallest gestures can build bridges across divides and heal wounds unseen. The monument erected in her honor stood as a symbol not of wealth or fame, but of the enduring power of kindness and the strength found in silent courage. It became a place where people gathered to reflect on the values that had shaped their community and to renew their commitment to living with generosity and empathy. Her legacy was a living, breathing force, a testament to the idea that true greatness comes from serving others with an open heart. Her story continues to inspire beyond the confines of the Old West, offering lessons that transcend time and place. It speaks to the universal truth that we all have the capacity to be heroes in our own way, by choosing compassion, by standing for what is right, and by giving without seeking recognition. The woman who donated in secret for 20 years reminds us that our actions, no matter how quiet, have the power to change the world. As the sun sets on this incredible tale, we are left with a profound reflection. Greatness is not measured by what we accumulate, but by the lives we uplift and the love we leave behind. Her story is an enduring call to live with intention, generosity, and courage, a call that echoes through history and into our own hearts. This final chapter invites us to carry forward her legacy, inspiring us all to become the quiet heroes of our own communities, making a difference one selfless act at a time. As we reflect on this incredible story, we are reminded that true heroism often walks quietly among us, unseen yet profoundly impactful. The woman who gave in secret for 20 years taught an entire town the priceless value of compassion without expectation. Her legacy is a powerful reminder that it is not grand gestures or public acclaim that shape history, but the consistent, selfless acts that build communities and change lives over time. Throughout the harsh landscape of the Old West, her silent generosity created a ripple effect of kindness that lifted countless souls, inspiring others to follow her example. Her story challenges us to look beyond what is visible and to recognize the invisible threads of love and sacrifice that bind us together. It urges us to ask ourselves how we might be the quiet guardian in someone's life, offering hope when it is needed most. This tale invites deep reflection on the kind of legacy we wish to leave behind. It shows us that true wealth is measured not by what we possess, but by the positive impact we have on others. The woman's life embodies the timeless truth that our greatest strength lies in giving without expecting anything in return, in loving without conditions, and in serving without seeking recognition. If this story moved you, I encourage you to become part of this journey by subscribing to the channel for more inspiring tales that touch the heart and challenge the soul. Like this video if it stirred something within you, and share your thoughts below. Your voice is a vital part of this community, helping to keep the spirit of kindness alive and spreading. Together, we can honor the quiet heroes among us and inspire a new generation to understand that true greatness comes not from what is seen, but from the love and courage we share in silence. Remember, every small act of kindness carries the power to transform lives, and sometimes even change the world.